Hello, St. Peter's. Welcome back for another fun summer reading adventure where today we're inside. It is raining out there. It's very wet. But since we did some clubhouse things on Monday, I thought, who knows, maybe you have a spot in your house that you could have a clubhouse and have some indoor fun today, and we are going to do the same. So this is our 14th episode of our summer reading series. That means next week is our last week for the summer reading adventures. But then you'll have a little bit of time to try to catch up in case you're a few behind. Don't worry about that. So my friends are inside today. We have Ralph, Magic Monkey, Daisy is here, and back here we have Douglas the Squirrel, Joy, and of course they're sitting with our jar of joy so we can spread some joy when we're all finished today. Let's see what we have today. We're going to need some paper plates for our craft, and here is our book. All right. I'm ready for a story on this gloomy, rainy day. Are you guys ready for a story? Are you ready? All right, let's get ready for our story. Let's turn up our ears so we're ready to listen. Turn off our mouths so we don't make a sound. Put your hands quietly in your lap. Take a nice, big, deep breath. And now we're ready for our story. I love this one, and my kids really enjoyed this one when I read it to them when they were younger. And I know some of you really love dragons. If you love dragons, get ready. You're gonna love this story. This one is called There's No Such Thing as a Dragon. I see a dragon. Do you see it? Yeah. Our story and pictures are by Jack Kent. So he wrote the words as the author and he drew the pictures as the illustrator. Here we go. Billy Bixby was rather surprised when he woke up one morning and found a dragon in his room. Right there. It was a small dragon about the size of a kitten. The dragon wagged its tail happily when Billy patted its head. That would be a surprise if you woke up with a dragon on your bed. Billy went downstairs to tell his mother. "There's no such thing as a dragon," said Billy's mother, and she said it like she meant it. Billy went back to his room and began to dress. The dragon came close to Billy and wagged its tail. But Billy didn't pat it. If there's no such thing as something, it's silly to pat it on the head. So he's believing what his mother said. Billy washed his face and hands and went down to breakfast. The dragon went along. It was bigger now, almost the size of a dog. He got bigger faster. Billy sat down at the table. The dragon sat down on the table. This sort of thing was not usually permitted, but there wasn't much Billy's mother could do about it. She had already said there was no such thing as a dragon, and if there's no such thing, you can't tell it to get down off the table. It was silly. Mother made some pancakes for Billy, but the dragon ate them all. Mother made some more. But the dragon ate those too. Mother kept making pancakes until she ran out of batter. Billy only got one of them, but he said that's all he really wanted anyway. Billy went upstairs to brush his teeth. Mother started clearing the table. The dragon, who was quite as big as Mother by this time, made himself comfortable on the hall rug and went to sleep. So he's kind of like dog-sized here, but wow, look how big he is now. Like a human, an adult person. Whoa. By the time Billy came back downstairs, the dragon had grown so much, he filled the hall. Billy had to go around by way of the living room to get to where his mother was. "I didn't know dragons grew so fast," said Billy, There's no such thing as a dragon, said Mother firmly. Cleaning the downstairs took Mother all morning, what with the dragon in the way and having to climb in and out of windows to get from room to room. Oh my goodness, look at her. And she still says there's no such thing as a dragon. Oh my goodness. Whoa, look at that. He fills the whole house. By noon, the dragon filled the house. Its head hung out the front door, its tail hung out the back door, and there wasn't a room in the house that didn't have some part of the dragon in it. That is a giant dragon. When the dragon awoke from his nap, he was hungry. A bakery truck went by. Ooh, the smell of fresh bread was more than the dragon could resist. The dragon ran down the street after the bakery truck. The house went along, of course, like the shell on a snail. That is so silly. You're just running down the street on the back of the dragon. The mailman was just coming to the path when with some mail for the Bixbys, when their house rushed past him and headed down the street. He chased the Bixby's house for a few blocks, but he couldn't catch it. When Mr. Bixby came home for lunch, the first thing he noticed was that the house was gone. It's gone. It's over here. Luckily, one of the neighbors was able to tell him which way it went. This is crazy. Mr. Bixby got in his car and went looking for the house. He studied all the houses as he drove along. Finally, he saw one that looked familiar. Billy and Mrs. Bixby were waving from an upstairs window. And look, he caught the truck and he's eating all the bread. That silly dragon. Mr. Bixby climbed over the dragon's head onto the porch roof and through the open window, the upstairs window. How did this happen? Mr. Bixby asked. It was the dragon, said Billy. There's no such thing, Mother started to say. There is a dragon, Billy insisted, a very big dragon. And Billy patted the dragon on its head. They finally admitted he was there. The dragon wagged its tail happily. Then, even faster than it had grown, the dragon started getting smaller. Soon, it was kitten-sized again. Smaller, smaller, smaller. I don't mind dragons this size, said Mother. Why did it have to grow so big? I'm not sure, said Billy, but I think it just wanted to be noticed. I think so too, because and here they are playing, as they started ignoring him, the more they ignored him, the bigger the dragon grew. He was very happy when Billy patted him on the head, and then he stopped patting him because his mom said there was no such thing. That's a good lesson to learn. So maybe if someone's making a lot of noise or your little brother or sister keeps bothering you, maybe they just want a little bit of attention. And if you give them a little attention, then they'll stop bothering you. You should try that next time. But I think what we should try right now is to make our very own dragon. Now, in this story, the dragon did not fly, but we all know dragons can fly, right? So how would you like to make a paper plate dragon? Now I made one and I made it different on two sides because I just wanted to show you different ways of decorating it. So he's got his wings here. I didn't do the underside yet. We can still work on that. He's got a tail with a pointy arrow, kind of like this dragon. See his tail? And he has some teeth up there. But maybe, like this dragon, I didn't put any spikes on him. Maybe we can put a few more spikes on our dragon when we do our own. You want to try? All right, it's very fun. So see on this side, I just made like dragony scales in a rainbow pattern. And on this side, I made them all orange and fiery. You can make your dragon however you want. So let's get a paper plate. Now, if you don't have a paper plate, get a piece of paper and cut out a big circle like this, okay? And once you do that, then you can follow along and do the rest of the steps with us. So you just need a circle. We're gonna use a paper plate, and it's easier if you use these really flimsy ones, because today we need to fold it in half. Just gonna match it up, fold it in half, and it's okay to smush it down. You're gonna fold it, fold it, fold it. Zoop, just like that, okay? Folded plate. Then you're gonna take a pencil. I'm gonna use a pen. You could use a pen if you want, but you can't erase a pen. I'm using a pen so that you can see it better when I do this. All right, so first we're gonna draw a body. It's just kind of like a hot dog shape. So see how on this paper plate, you can kind of see this inside curve? We're gonna make our body from the one end of that to the other. So we're gonna start here, and all I'm gonna do is go up a little bit and make a straight line, and then go down on that other side. Just like that. And see how it's not on this side? It's on the folded edge, okay? The next part is drawing the wings. Now it seems a little tricky, but if you follow these steps, it's not that hard. Watch what I do first, and then if you need to go back and rewind before you do it again, that's okay, okay? So you're going to start at one end of your dragon, because that's one end of the body. And when you do this, you're gonna make like swooping motions like this, like smiles. When you draw a smile, you draw it like that, like a curve, kind of, or the letter U, all right? So you're gonna start at one end of the body, and you're gonna make some U's going this way, toward the edge, all right? So watch carefully what I do. I'm just gonna start here, and I'm gonna make some smiles. I'm gonna make a smile, and I'm gonna keep my pencil down, and I'm gonna make another smile, and I'm gonna make another smile, and I think I can fit one more smile all the way to the edge. See that? So I went smile, 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 smile. I made about 4. Then you're gonna start right where that went off the edge, and you're just gonna swoop it down to this edge. And that's gonna be his wings, okay? Watch when I cut this out. So then, let me look in my adventure pack. I know I have my scissors in here. Here they are, with the round tips so they don't poke my back. Now when you cut this out, you're not cutting this line. You're gonna cut up, cut all your smiles, and cut down, okay? This part, body part, you don't wanna cut that across, or else your wings won't be attached anymore. So watch what I do. I'm gonna cut like this, and then I'm gonna cut my smiles, swoop. I gotta kind of look at it a little more. Swoop. And then another one, another smile, and one more swoop, and I'll be at the edge, okay? So I cut my swoops, then I gotta cut this line right here. So, I'm gonna follow the line, and that's the bottom. Then, might look a little crazy now. See where that line is? That can kind of be your guide, but you're gonna fold down one side and fold down the other side. So when you open it and hold it underneath, those are your dragon wings. Isn't that cool? Now, next we're gonna use the scrap pieces. See, now I have this and this left from cutting out our dragon body and wings. That's what we're gonna do to make the head and the tail. And what I really like is now, if I kind of tear them at the fold, then I have 4 pieces. So if I mess up, it's okay. I still have more pieces I can try, okay? So I'm gonna take like the smaller, I have a bigger, then this seems smaller. I'm gonna use the smaller one to make the tail. All right, so his tail is gonna have like a triangle top, okay? So at one end of this paper, you're just gonna make like you're making a letter A. But don't put the cross in the middle. Just go up and down. Make that, okay? Then, at the bottom of each side, you're gonna go in just a little bit. Okay, draw that. See how they go in just a little bit. Then, from where I stopped going in, I'm gonna draw a line. I need to put it on something that will hold it. Then I'm gonna draw just a line down, swoop it down, and another one on this side, swoop it down. And that's the tail. Pretty easy, right? Before we cut that out, let's make a head. So this is the part that you might experiment with. You might try a few different times, see what you like. But here's how I did my head. And I think I might even try something a little bit different this time. So you're gonna start here. And the first thing I did was make a little hump like that for his nose, because they seem to have those kind of see, let me show you. See how his nose has a little hump right there? So I put a little hump for his nose. And then I'm gonna draw a little line, and then I'm gonna go up, because that's where his eyes will be. See what I did? And then I need to draw an ear, one triangle up, another triangle up. That's the top of his head. Now, if you wanna make some spikes on his back as you go down, because the rest of it will just be his neck, you can do that. If you wanna make it bumpy or spiky, just go all the way down. Okay, now here's the tricky part. So from his nose, you're gonna make a zigzag on the inside for his mouth. Then you're gonna bring that zigzag back for the bottom of his mouth. And when you draw underneath, you have the rest of his neck. So mine got kind of skinny down here, okay? We're gonna try it again on the other side. So let's do it again over here. I think I need to start my nose up a little bit higher. I think I started it too low, so then I didn't really have room to put my mouth in. All right, so let's start it up higher. So I'm gonna make my nose up here, that little upside down U. And then I'm gonna make a little bit of a line and then go up for his eye, right? And then we're gonna put some ears. And then if we want some bumpy, humpy spikes, that goes wavy all the way down. Okay, so now let's draw the mouth again. From the first stop right here, you're gonna go down, up, down, up, just a couple times. And then you're gonna, where you stopped right here, you're gonna bring it back the other way. So you're gonna go down longer and then go up, down, up, down, up, down. So there he has his mouth. Then I'm gonna go from his mouth, I'm just gonna make a curve underneath it so it's like his chin. And that can go all the way straight back. Now, doesn't look perfect, but it looks pretty cool. I like it. So the tricky part now is going to be to cut him out. So just keep practicing. That's why if you have a pencil, I would have been able to erase this and start over on this side. I couldn't because I used a pen. So if you use a pencil, and remember, we have another whole piece. So if you cut this one out and you don't like it, try it again. Maybe you're gonna have a different kind of a dragon head. It's okay, it's your dragon, right? So let's cut out this dragon head and see what we end up with. So you're gonna be really careful if you made those humps so that you can cut all those pieces out. Okay, I'm gonna have to go this way. So I'm being very careful and I'm taking my time. And I'm turning my paper when I need to. If you just want to make your dragon go straight back, that's okay too. Then when I get to the ears, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go all the way up. So that piece falls off. Then I don't have to worry about that extra piece hanging off. And then I'm going to turn my paper so that I can cut my ears very carefully like that. I'm going to turn my paper again. Sometimes you have to turn it and pick your scissors up and cut it again. Okay, so I'm going to keep doing that. Go up and around. It's okay if you have to take your scissors out, reposition. See, I'm not doing it super fast because then I might rip my dragon. So now I'm going to do his jaggedy teeth. You ready for this? Are you with me? All right, I know you can do this. And if you cut a piece off by accident, what do? Cry, throw a fit, fall on the floor? No, you tape it back on. No problem. You get your tape, you get your glue stick, you tape it back on. Who knows, maybe your dragon doesn't have as many teeth. Maybe your dragon just has a round mouth. That's okay. All right, we're almost done. Cutting them off the bottom. Da-da-da-da. Now I have my dragon head. Okay, so this is why I have used a pencil, because if I did and I messed up, I could erase that. But instead, when I decorate it, I'll just have to color over it. It's not a big deal. So you're gonna cut that out, and then you're gonna get your tail and cut your tail out, which should be much easier than the dragon head. But still be careful, because you have those little arrow pieces that you wanna cut out to make sure he has that pointy tail. Okay, there it is. Then, before we put it together is when you would decorate your dragon. So, I used crayons. I'm gonna get out my crayons. Now, I'm not gonna decorate my entire dragon today because, where are my crayons? There they are. I knew they were in my pack somewhere. I'm not gonna decorate the whole thing because I want you to do a kind of decoration that you wanna do. But first, what I would say is put an eye on your dragon. So find your head, and it's gonna be right about here, whatever kind of eye you want. But he's gonna need an eye on both sides because we're gonna be able to see both sides, okay? So put your eye on your dragon. Then his head is ready, except for however you wanna decorate it. So my other ones I decorated, this head, I did half and half, pink on the top, green on the bottom. This one I did all orange, and I kind of made it darker and lighter, fiery. Maybe this time with this head, I'm gonna really show off his zigzaggy spikes up here with some purple, like that. I'm gonna do it again. Maybe he's gonna be a whole zigzag dragon, just for his head anyway. Okay, and then I'm just gonna color in his head. Like that. I'm only going to do one side, but you can do two sides. Now, like I did, you could color two different sides, or you could make it exactly the same on both sides. But take your time. This is a great day to really just sit and design a dragon and take your time. It's raining outside anyway. Maybe if you want to give him a little nostril up there, you can on his nose. Whoops. Oh my goodness, I dropped him. Hold on, I gotta pick up my dragon. Oh no. Whoops. Sorry, Daisy. She fell down. Okay, we are back in action. Oh my goodness, she fell down again. Daisy, what are you doing? Do you want to be a dragon? Let's see. Sometimes oh my goodness, they're all jumping down. Sometimes you just have to take your time, because that happens. There, it's better because I took my time. All right, so here's my dragon head. Now I'll still decorate the back later, but not right now. I'm gonna show you how to put this together. It's always, I found it was easier when you're gonna decorate your wings to do it before you tape everything together. You can decorate it after, but it's just harder, because this way you could put them down flat and you can do whatever you want. Okay, maybe I'm gonna make some polka dots, like butterfly wings, just so that I can show you a little bit of color. I'm not gonna do the whole thing. And maybe I'm gonna give them some zoom, cool stripes on my dragon, okay? So take your time. I want you to really decorate it, and maybe there'll be a cool picture on the underside. I would love to see them. Now, the dragon, where it's flat, the flat part of your wings, that's where you're gonna put his head. So all you're gonna do is take his head. That's why we have such a long neck, because he's gonna go in there, however far you want it to go. Not all the way, because that would be silly looking. Let him have a little bit of a neck sticking out. And then you need either a piece of tape or a stapler, okay? If you have a stapler, all you need to do is staple it at the bottom, and that'll hold his neck in. Boop. And then I'll use a piece of tape for the tail. Then for your tail, same thing, you're gonna stick it in the back end, like that. And if you just have tape, you just wrap it around and tape it on, like that. Either way it'll work. Glue, You could, if you want to glue it, you would put glue on the inside of the wing and then stick your head in, and you'll have to hold it down for a minute. But glue will work too, whatever you have. Glue, a glue stick, tape, or a stapler, anything will do to hold your dragon together, okay? Then if you want, you can kind of like curl up the wings on the edges if you want. That's totally up to you. Maybe your dragon's gonna breathe fire and you'll tape some of the other scraps. You could color them orange and you could tape them coming out of the mouth for fire if you have a fire-breathing dragon. I would love to see how you decorate your dragons. Oh, where did my other dragon? Oh, here he is. Maybe you have lots of colors. Maybe you're going to use one color. Maybe the top and the bottom will have different colors. I can't wait to see them. If you try another, see, look, I tried another one. He's from the same paper plate, but I cut out his wings a little bit bigger. So then I have a big guy and a little guy, maybe two brothers, or maybe a mom and a dad, or maybe a mom and a baby, or a dad and a boy or a girl. I don't know, could be anybody. So you can make a lot of dragons if you want. Now you notice this neck I have pointing down, this neck is going up. It doesn't matter, it's all up to you. I can't wait to see what your dragons look like. I just thought this was a really fun thing to do on a gloomy, rainy day when it's too wet to go outside to play. What do you say? We fill in our summer reading log. We just completed another summer reading adventure. Here's my reading log. Oh boy, how about, let's see, we have a lion, a giraffe, and a zebra left to go. Let's color in the zebra today. It's not actually a dragon, but I'm gonna color it. I'm gonna color this zebra with some green stripes. Isn't that silly? I'm gonna color my zebra with green stripes. Some dragons are green. The dragon in our story was orange. Sometimes dragons are red. Sometimes they're black. The dragons can be any color you want. So there is our zebra, or green zebra. We should have 14 colored in. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh my goodness, boys and girls, we have 2 more adventures to go and we will have completed our entire Wild About Reading Summer Reading Adventure series. That's 1 more week. I'm excited to show you what we have coming up next week. But before we go, there's still 1 more thing we need to do. Are you ready to spread some joy? Me too. Come on, Joy. We're gonna shake up this jar. Shake it up, shake it up. All right, let's see how we're gonna spread our joy today. What do we have in store? Ooh, even nicer. It's such a rainy day that maybe you can all have dinner together tonight, and this says, set the table for dinner. I know sometimes we eat dinner in front of the TV. That's okay for sometimes, but maybe today you could all sit at the table. You can set the table, get it ready, maybe help whoever's cooking dinner, help them prepare the dinner. You could learn some new things in the kitchen. And then you can all sit down together and have a meal together. Maybe your dragons will be ready by then and you can show them the dragon that you made. That would be really fun. And then you can find out what everybody else did during their day. Set the table for dinner. What a nice way to spread joy, because then you can bring your family together and it's 1 more chore that an adult in the house doesn't have to do. Great job, Joy. Good job, my friends, even Daisy and Magic Monkey. You got a little silly today, but that's okay. That's what it is when you play inside. Sometimes you get a little silly. All right, boys and girls, go make some dragons. Put those pictures in the comments on the Facebook page. I cannot wait to see them. I'm very excited for this one. So remember, go set that table. Keep spreading your joy. We'll see you next week for our final 2 episodes. All right, until next time, don't forget, keep spreading your joy.